What is up, everybody? It is your boy T Macaroni, and we are finally back for another video. So first, before I even get into the main content of the video, I want to give a shout out to everybody who I saw at Bandai Fest, everybody from the Union Arena community, all the people I saw from the Digimon community, and a few of the One Piece community. You guys made the weekend very exciting. It was my first time traveling to the States, and it was a very exciting time. So I thank you guys for chilling out with me, talking with me about cards and like future stuff and stuff like that. It was a whole exciting weekend. I enjoyed it a lot. I got to try some good food, some bad food, and some in-between food. So thank you guys for that. But without enough emotional rambling from me, let's talk about why we're making this video today. This is what we are going to do. We are, as per usual, we're going to go over the deck list, some strategies, we're going to talk about some cards, and I'm going to give you pretty much my thoughts on it overall once we get into the end game. Anyways, so this is going to be the Muzan Counts at 20 deck. Basically what you are looking to do is, as stated, you are going to be looking to count to 20. Turboing your way to 20 cards in the sideline, and then you get the nice combo finish of being able to push Muzan and get in some impact 2, damage 2 game plan. Usually it's damned if you do, damned if you don't for your opponent. And it's just an overall really strong boss monster. Not only does it get buffed in set 2, it also can do really well in the current metagame, just because people will not know how and what to do to respond to it. They're going to be hoping for final triggers and stuff like that. So you can play this one of two ways. You can either go for a more laid back game plan, so you're just looking to end the game with Muzan, or the way I think you should be playing it is playing a chip at your opponent to try to get them to maybe 1, maybe 2, or even try to get them to 3 and double push up a Muzan and then call it GG at that, barring triggers. That being said, you can naturally, as I just explained, you can close out games very easily. Impact 2 on anybody is just insane. If you can find a way to give it Impact 3 with some of the purple cards that you can do that, but I'm not running those cards, you can finish a game almost like nothing. And then the other thing is about this deck is you have a lot of draw potential. You can draw your deck, and in theory I believe you can mill out pretty fast as well, just because of this sheer amount of draw triggers. A lot of the purple cards, as you guys know, are on draw 1 trash ones and stuff like that, so you will be cycling through your deck quite frequently. And with the searches and all of that, you'll see cards over and over again, so you will never be short on cards. As always, we're going to be starting off with our zero energy. So the first zero energy we are going to be looking at is the lower 4. It's a lower rank demon, and then it has the when sideline draw card. This is identical to the Junpei from JJK. Nothing really special here, has no trigger. So usually you play this early just to ramp up your energy, or you're looking to use it as an early game attacker / blocker, so you can get that when sideline effect. The next card we're going to be looking at is the Muzan Kibutsuji, and this is the boy form. So I'm just going to refer to Muzan boy and so forth, so on, because there's quite a few Muzans. This card is also treated as Muzan, and then you can activate main, switching to resting once per turn. This character gains +1 energy generation until the end of turn, and then at the end of the main phase you get to sideline this character. So the reason why we're running this is pretty self-explanatory. Not only does it provide us 2 energy, it also sidelines itself, so that adds to our Muzan count of 20. So pretty much the same as like the Euphemia from previous sets, or we've seen this effect time and time again, so no need to get too deep into it. No trigger, unfortunately. And then the last zero drop that we are playing is the Warabi Hime. I'm gonna butcher these names, guys, but the main important thing about this card, it is also treated as Daki, which you will see why that is relevant in a second. And then it has a beautiful get trigger, so being able to, if it's in life, come back to hand and being able to get our energy stabilized. It is also on a 1500 body, so worst case scenario, if we have multiple or we're getting a little bit clogged, we can just push it to the front and look to chip in for some early game damage. So in the 1 energy slot, we are on the lower 3. So it also has the trait of lower rank demon on a 1/1, and it also has the same effect as its previous counterpart, the lower 4, when sideline draw a card. But it is a little bit beefier on a 2K with no trigger, unfortunately, but still a very good card, and it contributes really well into our game plan. As you can see here, we are drawing a lot of cards on the low game. So not only can these guys be early game attackers, they can also be early game blockers as well. So we have just the regular Muzan here. So he is on a 1/1 with no trigger, unfortunately, again. But when played, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You get to reveal up to 1 lower ranked demon affinity card among them and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, and if you added a card in this manner, you can place 1 card from your hand to the sideline. Unfortunately, if the other card, the second part of that effect was to place the rest of them into the sideline, this Muzan would be insane. But not only, you still get to put 1 card to the sideline if you added a card, so it's not as bad. So you can search out your low engine if you need to find more energy, or you can search out some key cards you'll see in a second. And then it also is on a 2K body, so you can go 0/1, play this Muzan, push it out, and then you can play the lower demon that you found off this search effect on a following turn. So very, very good. And the lower rank demon that we usually want to find is Enmu. So Enmu is a 2/1 on the lower rank demon. When played, if a character has been sidelined this turn, you get to draw a card. So there you see we're drawing more cards. And then it has the bonus of having an active trigger. So you get to choose 1 character on your field and switch it to active, and it gets 3000 BP until end of turn. Very good card. So if you can get those early sidelines with using like some of the event cards that we're going to take a look at in a second, you can combo it with this to refuel your hand and to see more cards and have more options. Also, it's on a 2500 BP body, so it is a good early game attacker and blocker as well. And this is what I would like to call the linchpin of the deck. I think the deck revolves around the 3 energy mark, and these 2 cards put in a lot of work. So let's talk about the Muzan Geisha form. So it is the color trigger of the deck. It is on a 3/1. This card is also treated as Muzan, and then it has the wonderful effect of being able to activate main once per turn. You get to sideline 1 character on your field and place the top card of your deck into the sideline. If you do, this character gains 1000 BP until end of turn. And it is on a 3K with 2 energy. Now, usually we don't really care about the 1000 BP unless we're looking to press some mid-game damage. But what we do care about is that sidelining one of our other characters. So not only can you combo this with, like, let's say your lower demon, so your lower 3, your lower 4, and then that way you can play the Enmu to get a draw. And then you get a draw off the sideline, so you get to draw 2 cards off of just losing 1 and playing 1 card. It is on a 3K body, and on top of that, it also produces 2 energy as well. So this card is just an all-around powerhouse. It is a very strong key piece in our deck. If we can see multiples of these in the mid-game, they provide a lot of work. And then speaking of a lot of work, we have the Gyotaro, who is unfortunately an upper rank demon, but he is on a 3/1 as well. He also produces double energy, has an active trigger, he's a 3K BP, and he has the wonderful effect when played, if a Daki is on your field, you get to draw 1 card, then place 1 card from your hand into the sideline. So that's why we are running the Zirkas Warabi Hime, who is treated as Daki. So you can play this card, draw the 1 card, place 1 card into sideline, and now you have a 3K body with double energy. So you can see how the combos and synergies are getting in. Very strong card if you can get it online. So usually you want to see this with a Daki in hand, or you just hold this out with a Daki so you can get to that late 20 slot. So it provides double duty, and plus having 2 energy, you can have it chill in the back line until you're ready to push it up and swing with it. And the end game that we are talking about, The first one being Enmu. So not only is Enmu a lower ranked demon, so it is searchable off that 1/1 Muzan. It is a raid Enmu, and if you have 15 or more cards in your sideline, this character becomes gains 500, so it becomes a 4500, and it has the beautiful on-play effect of draw 2 cards, place 1 into the sideline, and it has a add to hand. The only downside to this card, it isn't a raid from life, but being able to draw 2 trash 1 is just really, really good. Like I said, this is basically diet Sukuna. So not only do you get to draw 2, you get to place 1 to the sideline, and it has a pretty neat effect of being a 4500, so good for the blocks. People like to play that base 4K, get in for damage with impact and stuff like that, and this being a 4500 is just super, super strong. And then our boss monster for the deck in Muzan Kibitsuji. So it has impact 2, it has damage 2, but it has the drawback of this character cannot be played onto or moved to your front line unless you have 20 or more cards in your sideline. So it is a very, very late game card. It does have the benefit of providing 2 energy on a 4/1, so you can put this in the back, sit on multiple of them, and then push them all up to get impact or damage 2 in. So it's very good at closing out a game. Stellar boss monster, probably one of the most impressive boss monsters in the game for me personally, behind Lancelot, but just very overall strong card. It's on a 5k body as well, so it is nothing to scoff at. Kurapika fans, be wary of this card. We aren't scared of your 5ks, Lancelots. We aren't scared of your 5ks. Very strong card. Definitely probably a 4 of in the deck, bar none. And then it has a beautiful get trigger, so you always can have it in your hand. I wish this was a raid, but you know, I think for 4/1, I don't think with that effect it would be too strong for a raid, but definitely understandable. And then the last card that we are running is the 6/2 Akaza. He is an upper rank demon, and you get to play this card set to active on your field. And then when played, you may place 2 cards from your hand into your sideline. If you do, this character gains snipe and impact until the end of turn. It's on a 4k body, it is a get trigger as well. So we're only running, I believe, 1 copy of this card, and this card is pretty much another form of removal. It is very akin to the Silva from Hunter x Hunter, where you could do pretty much the same effect, but you had to activate main for that. This card is just, and it didn't come in active, so you couldn't use it on that turn. You would have to hope the Silva lives a turn or play it into the back line. With this card, you can, it's 1 more, you get active, so you are getting an attack and you're getting an impact check as well. So not only are you putting your opponent on a clock with this, it's just overall good value and removal. Sick card. It's basically Sukuna on crack. So getting into our events now, we are running 3 events. Obviously, we're running our special and final, but we're running 1 more event. And probably my favorite event in the Demon Slayer series is Purge. So you get to sideline 1 character on your field, and if you do, you get to choose up to 1 of your AP cards, set it to active, and draw 2 cards. Reason being why this is my favorite card, also on the benefit, it has a draw trigger. The reason why this is one of my favorite cards is basically it is a free draw 2. So if you do not AP draw and you just say, all right, I'm going to sideline, let's say, for example, a lower ranked demon, one of your 0 drops, you not only get to sideline that and add, so you're putting 2 cards into your bin, you also get to draw 2 cards, plus the 1 from, so you're drawing 3 cards for free. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know any TCG that allows you to just draw 3 cards for no reason. This is like Potter greed on steroids. Yes, you might argue, oh, you're losing board presence. No, you're getting card advantage. You can replace your board present with card advantage, and that's what makes this card so good. One of my favorite cards in the set, bar none. That's why I really wanted to play Muzan, because I saw this card and I was just like, hey, I'm drawing 3 cards for free, say no more. So definitely I am playing this as a 4 of. One can argue if with ratios and stuff like that, but I think starting out, I'm going to try this card as a 4 and go from there. And as always, we are running our special and final. So our special, this is a handful, so it is called Lower Your Heads and Crouch Down and prostrate yourselves. So you get to sideline one character on your field, and if you do, you can choose up to one character on your opponent's front line and sideline it, and you get to draw a card. So not only does this card help your overall strategy, not only does it get rid of pretty much anything on board without BP restrictions or anything, you get to draw a card to replace itself. Card's insane. It's only on 3 energy. Yes, you will argue, oh, T-Mac, you have to get rid of something. But if you're getting rid of a lower demon, for example, you not only get to draw 2 cards, you're getting rid of one of your opponent's main boss monsters. Insane card. I love these type of sideline your thing to get benefits. And you could just generate so much value, see so many cards in hand. So insane. And then finally, we are on Muzan's Blood, which is just the final trigger to be able to set 2 APs of yours and set them to active. Standard stuff. So those are the main cards I think we should be running in a Muzan deck. But as always, we have some tech options, and let's go over those right now. So for our tech options, the first one we're going to be talking about is Tioni. People have been talking to me about this one a lot and been saying you probably should run this. But let's go over it and see why. So Tioni is a 0-1 standard stuff. When sideline, you get to choose one of the following. You get to choose up to 1 character on your field and move it to the other line. Or you can choose one character choose one character on both your front line and energy line and swap them. So this card is used pretty much, I would say, closer to the mid to late game once you have hit that threshold for Muzan, or you're close to it. So let's say, for example, you use a Purge on the Tioni and you're at 18 cards, right? These 2 will go in. Tioni is now in the bin, so now you can push up your Muzan and go in for your impact too, especially if your opponent wasn't expecting to get Muzan that turn. So you can do some very cheeky shenanigans with Tioni. The only reason I'm not running it is just because I wanted to test bare bones version first. So I definitely think Tioni is a good card, but I will need to play around with it. And it also has a draw trigger as well. So that is one of the things that makes it even better. So I think this one definitely can find a slot in there. Definitely test it out in your ratios. As always, guys, these lists are baseline stuff, so you can play around and play with things and change it to your ratios and things that you like. So it will always be that, so make sure you guys test it out and see if you like it. And let me know in the comments. I always would like to get some feedback on what cards you guys like to use and I might not like to use. Anyways, so the next card I see some people playing as well are the lower 6. So it has when sideline, you get to draw 1 trash one. And it is 2k on no trigger. So the only reason I'm not running this card in my initial draft is just because of the no trigger aspect. I just feel like the deck does not have a lot of triggers in general, so that can be quite to a detriment to it, and I just kind of wanted to mitigate that just even in the slightest. Alternatively, if you don't want to run the Daki and Gyotaro package, if you feel like it's a little bit like Hyrule or Saki, you can definitely replace it for either the Tioni or the lower 6. Any one of them will do fine. Just be aware that you are going to be less on triggers, so you got to be aware of that. There is also another demon as well that I did not put up here in the graphic. It is the one that says when sidelined you get to minus 2k something, I believe. That one is also very good as well, also on a non-trigger, so I just didn't want to include that as well. Anyhow, the next card we're going to be looking at, and another low rank demon, is Rui. Rui is also on a 3-1 as well, and then when played, if this character has if a character has been sidelined this turn, you get to choose a character on your opponent's front line, and it loses 1500 BP until the end of turn. So another very strong card. It has an active trigger. It is on a 2500, so this would be an appropriate replacement for Gyotaro if you don't want to run that engine. I think Rui would do well, and it is searchable off of that Muzan, so you can max out on the Muzan to go primarily focus on lower ranked demons, which would be very, very good. Definitely something worth trying. I just didn't like it personally because I felt 1500 didn't do too much. I guess you could get rid of a low cost 0 drop, but I just feel like it didn't do much for me. So I opted to go with the Gyotaro package. And then the final card I want to take a look at for tech options is the 5-1 Akaza. It's just a generic 4K with Impact 1. I mean, if you really want added, like, I want to just end the game quickly, just a generic Impact 1 is always really, really good. So I definitely see you could maybe swap out for the 6-1, the 6-2 here, or if you just wanted to like reduce the amount of end moves that you're running, so maybe coming down to 3 end moves or even 2, and then running the Akaza. I think that would also be a pretty solid way. So that way you can just like, you're looking to get to the end game and ending more efficiently and cleanly once your Muzan comes out. So here's the deck list, guys. So this, I'm calling it Count to 20 Muzan, or if you want to call it Onichan's Muzan, just because of the Gyotaro and the Daki. This is what I think our optimal ratios so far for this variant. So we're running 4 of all the 0 costs. We're running 3 of the Muzan just because it doesn't have a trigger, and unfortunately sometimes we can put bottom deck some very key cards, so we're only running 3. We're running 4 of the lower 3. It doesn't have a trigger, but it does have that one sidelined, so we need that. We're running 4 of the Enmu, 4 of the color trigger naturally. We're only running 3 of the Gyotaro, just because we needed to see a little, we had to make room for other things as well. Alternatively, if you don't want to run the 6-2 Akaza, you could run another Gyotaro here. That definitely is an option. We obviously are running 4 of the Muzan Kibutsuji. We need to see this card. This card is our endgame. It's what the deck is revolving around, so we want to max it out. We're running 3 of the Enmu. Only running 3 is just because I really wanted to find room for the Akaza. Alternatively, you can come down on the purges maybe and add another Enmu. You can even go down to 2 purges and maybe add in the Gyotaro, or if you want to add one of the tech options as well, or 2 of the tech options, you can definitely do that as well. So there are 3 potentially flex slots in there. And then we are running the 1 Akaza. I just really like this card. It's another way of getting rid of something on board and getting an additional check-in. So you can actually combo that really nicely with the Muzan as well. If you are on Tioni, you can do some really nice and cheeky shenanigans with that. So definitely think that is an option as well. And then you are running 4 of Purge, 4 of Lower Your Heads, and then 4 of Muzan's Blood. So just overall, I'm running standard ratios, 4 of the good cards, and then mixing it up with ratios for tech options. But anyways, as always, guys, thank you for watching. I know this one was a little bit of a longer one, but I really wanted to get my thoughts out and let you guys know how I really feel about Muzan. I think Muzan is definitely going to be slept on for this format. Yes, it does get better in set 2 because we get a 5-1 Muzan that helps our strategy out even more. But I think there's a lot of juice. This is definitely going to be one of those pilot-dependent decks, and certain little tech options and tech choices are going to make this deck really fun and sweet to play. As always, where would I put it in the metagame? I definitely see it as probably a solid tier 2 deck, creeping up to 1.5. Once we get that set 2, it definitely will go into that tier 1 argument for sure. I just think it needs just that little bit of oomph to get there. But I definitely think it is going to be a fun overall strategy. Honestly, I'm going to give it a comfy 1.5. I think it's going to be sitting in the 1.5. This definitely will be a deck that you will see at tournaments, and people will be jamming this deck a lot. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more content. I'm working on these videos to get them out as fast as possible to you guys. So make sure you guys give me that feedback and let me know I'm doing a decent-ish job. As always, let me know what deck you guys are going to be playing for Demon Slayer, and I can't wait to see all your deck lists and like the ideas behind them. I'm looking super forward to seeing it. I always get hype once a new set drops, so make sure you guys let me know what you guys are going to be playing. And then you can follow me on X, as always, at MacTXD. My links will be in the description below. Or you can join the community Discord where we hang out, we vibe, we play games, we play a lot of Union Arena, we do a lot of testing during the day. And then in the evening, closer into the night hours, we will occasionally play different video games and stuff like that, and just spitball ideas. So make sure you guys, if you want to join that, links, as always, will be in the description below. But thanks for watching. My name is T-Mac. I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay easy, stay warm, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.